Have you ever wondered about the power of silence in the noisy and chaotic world we live in? Have you considered the impact of knowing when to hold your words amidst the constant cacophony outside? It's not just about refraining from speaking, but turning silence into a powerful tool that gives us the strength to face daily conflicts and adversities. How can we use silence in a way that helps nurture our mind and spirit? In this video, we will explore 10 situations where Stoic philosophy teaches us to use silence as our best ally to face any adversity and achieve the life we deserve. Together, we will learn to use silence as a source of strength and mental clarity, navigating the most complex moments of life and relationships with confidence and wisdom. Let's begin. 1. The overwhelming power of silence. Silence goes beyond the mere absence of words. It is the powerful manifestation of a serene and controlled mind. In this context, silence becomes an essential tool to cultivate dignity and maintain our emotional autonomy. When the Stoics talk about silence, they refer to a deliberate practice of withholding unnecessary or harmful words. In the words of the philosopher Epictetus, never say anything that does not improve on silence. Choosing silence is an act of wisdom and self-control that allows us to cultivate serenity and communicate more effectively and meaningfully with others. It helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts that often arise from misunderstandings or false information. Beyond simply avoiding harmful conversations, silence helps us cultivate inner peace. In a world full of external stimuli and pressures, it allows us to distance ourselves from disturbing emotions and thoughts, facilitating a space for reflection and mental clarity. It helps us disconnect from automatic and emotional reactions, giving us greater autonomy in managing our emotional states. This practice of deliberately choosing when to speak and when it is better to reserve our words is based on the idea that we can control our internal responses to external circumstances. It gives us the opportunity to observe our thoughts without external distractions. Through silence, we seek to achieve a clearer understanding of our own values, motivations, and behaviors, adjusting them as necessary to live a more ethical and meaningful life. Additionally, in situations where emotions can cloud judgment, controlling what we say offers us a respite to calm the mind and consider all options more objectively. 2. Resisting insults through silence. Using silence as a response to insults is presented as a powerful tool of strength. Instead of a passive response, it is an active way to resist the temptation to respond impulsively, thus avoiding giving power to the hurtful words of others. When we choose silence, we are choosing not to feed the cycle of negativity that insults seek to perpetuate. By not responding in kind, we exhibit exceptional strength and self-control, demonstrating that our dignity and emotional stability are far above those who try to demean us with words. Ignoring these negative behaviors also prevents the aggressor from achieving their goal of emotionally destabilizing us. By not responding to the impact of insults, we minimize the aggressor's power, who often loses interest in continuing their behavior when they realize we do not succumb to their disrespectful game. Silence acts as a powerful shield against those who seek to disrespect us, preventing an escalation of confrontations. Additionally, it allows us to reflect on the reasons behind the insults without being consumed by anger or resentment. By maintaining composure, we give ourselves the opportunity to analyze if there is any truth in the criticism and use that information constructively for our personal growth. If the insults are unfounded, silence helps reaffirm our self-esteem, reminding us that our worth is not determined by others' opinions. Silence in the face of insults is also an exercise in humility and compassion, as responding with hostility only multiplies the pain for both parties. By not falling into the easy response, we not only strengthen our character but also show empathy towards the internal battles each person faces. Acting this way is living in harmony with Stoic ideals, which teach us to control instinctive reactions and develop a more rational and peaceful spirit. When we keep silent, instead of reacting instantly, we are actively developing our capacity for self-control. We not only protect our inner peace, but also positively influence our environment, showing that often the real power lies in the words we choose not to say. 3. Managing anger through silence. Managing anger through silence stands as a cornerstone in Stoic philosophy, teaching us to turn destructive emotions into opportunities for personal growth and reflection. Instead of succumbing to anger in the face of daily adversities, silence opens up a space for reflection, a moment of mental quiet, offering us the opportunity to process feelings more constructively. This silent pause is not merely the absence of words. It is a conscious strategy that allows us to stop, breathe deeply, and restore clarity and rationality to the mind. By choosing silence in response to situations that previously overwhelmed us, we open the door to selecting a reaction aligned with our deepest values. We allow ourselves the necessary space to evaluate the situation with greater clarity and determine a more reflective and less impulsive course of action. Additionally, this practice fosters introspection, allowing us to explore the implicit roots of anger. By pausing before responding, we allow ourselves to ask questions like, is this a justified response, or simply the result of my unmet expectations? Asking such questions leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the objective circumstances surrounding our initial anger. Introspection often leads to better emotional regulation, as it helps us learn to identify and manage the triggers of anger more effectively. In turn, silence teaches us to be more patient and tolerant by accepting that we cannot control others' actions, only our response to them. Practicing silence in conflict situations can also transform our personal and professional relationships. By fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding, we promote greater harmony in our interactions with others. Another great benefit of this reflective silence is that by observing us act this way, others may be inspired to adopt similar approaches in their own lives, creating a calmer and more positive environment around us. As we can see, the impact of silence extends far beyond ourselves, benefiting our surroundings and promoting a culture of empathy and mutual understanding. 4. Choosing silence in the face of criticism. Silence as a response to external criticism is a powerful expression of self-control and emotional maturity, essential values in Stoic philosophy. When faced with unfounded or malicious criticism, choosing not to respond not only preserves our personal integrity, but also brings us greater peace and serenity. It constitutes an exercise of wisdom and strength, showing that we have a deep understanding of what truly matters, our inner peace and coherence with our values. When faced with baseless negative comments, our natural reaction may be to confront and defend our point of view. However, the conscious choice of silence fosters an environment of understanding and mutual respect. Refraining from responding does not mean we accept or resign ourselves, but rather that we make a deliberate decision not to feed a discussion that could be sterile or even destructive. This decision allows both us and the person who tried to offend us to reflect on the words and their possible consequences. Imagine you are in a work meeting, presenting a project that is very important to you. When announcing an innovative idea, instead of receiving recognition and praise, some of your colleagues begin to criticize your proposal baselessly and disparagingly. What do you think your instinctive reaction would be? Exactly. You would most likely feel the need to defend yourself and discredit them in return. But what if you follow Stoic principles and pause your mind for a moment to seek a smarter response to the situation? By not feeding the confrontation and allowing emotions to calm, you open the door to the possibility of a more productive and collaborative dialogue among all present. Additionally, by showing your ability to handle criticism with composure, you gain the respect and admiration of others while allowing yourself a moment to analyze what the most appropriate response would be. The Stoics teach us not to react impulsively to difficulties, but to contemplate them calmly before deciding how to act. Thus, silence becomes an expression of virtue, not as a way to evade problems, but as a tool to face them consciously and proactively. 5. Silence in the face of difficult decisions. In making difficult decisions, silence is more than just a pause. It is a powerful refuge for deep reflection. This practice promotes decisions based on clear and rational judgment, free from emotional impulses. By immersing ourselves in this space of silence before deciding, we can explore the implications of our options and better prepare for their repercussions. This process of reflection acts as a counterbalance to the frenetic nature of everyday life. In a world where speed often surpasses quality, stopping to reflect may seem counterintuitive, but it is in these moments of pause where we find true wisdom. In the words of the wise philosopher Epictetus, "If you speak, you cannot listen. If you cannot listen, you cannot learn." Silence is necessary to listen and learn. Silence allows us a deeper study of all the variables involved in decision-making, enabling us to evaluate the long-term consequences of our actions. Additionally, it prevents us from responding hastily in high-pressure situations. From this state of calm, it is more feasible to consider all perspectives and possibilities, leading to balanced decisions that reflect our values and long-term goals. Imagine you are in a medical emergency situation with a loved one. Suddenly, you are faced with a critical decision. Should you follow the doctor's advice and give consent for urgent surgery? Or should you seek a moment of pause before making such an important decision? Faced with the pressure of time and the gravity of the situation, you decide to resort to silence as a tool for deep reflection. You try to quiet your emotional turmoil for a moment, to make the most rational decision possible. In that moment of pause and silent reflection, you remember that you know a trusted doctor. You decide to take the phone and seek their personal opinion on the situation. Finally, when the doctor gives you their advice, you feel more confident in making an informed decision based on their years of experience. This brief but crucial pause demonstrates how silence can be a powerful tool for stopping, reflecting, and seeking additional wisdom in moments of crisis. 6. Say goodbye to distractions. The journey of life, particularly in the stage between the ages of 30 and 60, requires an essential skill: the ability to eliminate distractions. In this period of multiple responsibilities, it is crucial to cultivate the art of finding silence amidst the chaos that surrounds us. Throughout history, we find multiple examples of great minds who used moments of silence and stillness to make clear decisions and achieve success in their life goals. As an example, we could take Mahatma Gandhi, known for his moments of retreat and meditation. The great Indian leader and activist deeply understood the importance of silence as a tool for reflection and mental clarity. For Gandhi, silence was not simply the absence of noise, but an inner state of calm and peace that allowed him to connect with himself and his highest purpose. Through his periods of silence and reflection, Gandhi found the strength and clarity needed to lead peaceful resistance movements and achieve his goals of justice and freedom. In this way, silence was not only an integral part of his spiritual practice, but also a powerful tool for his inspiring activism and leadership. As the emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The wise man finds peace within himself, even amidst the bustle of the outside world." It is in those moments of calm where we can separate information from noise. The quiet mind has the space to think strategically and visualize the big picture of life like a chessboard. Silence allows our minds to wander freely, making connections that could be lost amidst the chaos. This deep concentration not only involves being present, but also fully committing to the task at hand, leading to greater productivity and creativity. Every word spoken after careful pause carries significant weight. Silence prepares the ground for decisive movement, the prelude to a leap forward. Silencing external distractions to focus on what is inside us is considered a form of self-mastery, a strategic pause that allows us to evaluate circumstances clearly and make conscious decisions. 7. Learn to negotiate in silence. Silence becomes a powerful tool in negotiations. Reflect for a moment on the following situation. You feel undervalued at work and believe you deserve a raise. When proposing it to your employer, they make a salary offer far below what you deserve. What would you do at this moment? Stoic teachings suggest we take a pause, not respond without reflecting. This strategic pause not only allows you to reorganize your thoughts and think of a way to present your arguments that makes the other party reconsider their offer, but also puts pressure on those on the other side of the negotiation, giving them time to reconsider their position. By adopting this approach, we follow the example of Zeno of Citium, founder of Stoicism, who advocated listening more and speaking less, recognizing that true wisdom often lies in reflection. By embracing silence in negotiations, we take control of the rhythm and flow of the conversation, gaining a significant advantage. Kindness, another central Stoic principle, manifests in simple but profound acts of compassion and altruism. Marcus Aurelius proclaimed that kindness is humanity's greatest delight, reflecting its importance in the connection between all human beings. Kindness is not just about the great altruistic deeds of those who advocate for social justice and planetary sustainability. It is also found in everyday gestures, such as a kind smile or a helping hand to cross the street. By expressing kindness and adopting measured communication, we recognize the profound impact that words and actions can have on others. The Stoics understand that speaking less but with reflection and kindness can enrich not only our own lives, but also those around us. Therefore, we are urged to embrace kindness in all its forms and to offer compassion and support to those around us. Silence attracts people. Imagine this. You are at an evening event amidst the bustle of conversations that fill the air like bees in a hive. Suddenly, a moment of sudden calm envelops the room, drawing all eyes to someone who enters the room, not with words or exaggerated gestures, but emanating a sense of serenity and calm that contrasts with the charged and noisy atmosphere. This phenomenon illustrates the attraction of silence, capable of capturing attention without uttering a single word, just like in a classroom, where the teacher's voice struggles to be heard among the constant murmur of students. The environment is a whirlwind of distractions that makes effective knowledge transmission difficult. However, when the teacher takes a pause, silence descends on the room and the student's attention returns. This brief moment of silence acts as a powerful reminder that even amidst chaos, there is an opportunity to regain focus and engagement. Silence in its essence reflects the wisdom of Stoicism. It is not simply the absence of sound, but a presence that emanates from the deepest parts. Those who remain silent not only listen, but also perceive what is unsaid, understand the emotions and subtleties beyond words. Their silence is not an act of isolation, but a deep commitment to the environment. Often, they are at the center, being the nonverbal focus of any gathering. Charisma does not reside solely in eloquent speeches or grand gestures, but also in the quiet strength of presence. A charismatic leader inspires not only through words, but also through actions and by empowering others. When they speak, their words are deliberate and have a profound impact. The power of silence can manifest in the subtlest gestures, from a genuine smile to a thoughtful gesture, actions that reach directly to the soul. Therefore, embrace the silent art of charisma. Your presence and authenticity speak louder than your words. Let your silent charisma guide and transform not only your world, but also the lives of those around you. Remember that in the tranquility of your being lies the power to captivate, an influence that deeply aligns with the principles of Stoicism. The ancient art of listening attentively. We live in a world full of noise, where voices compete to be heard. However, amidst that hustle and bustle, some choose a different path, that of silence and full attention. These people who speak sparingly become masters of the art of deep listening. Their skill is not limited to spoken words, but penetrates the emotions and thoughts that accompany them. This skill allows them to absorb the richness of the information they receive and see the world from various perspectives. When they finally utter words, they are not only heard, but felt. The ability to listen attentively is a treasure in personal relationships, nurturing deeper connections and mutual understanding. In the professional realm, this skill is equally invaluable. Those who master it can understand different points of view, navigate complex decisions, and resolve conflicts with a clarity that only comes from true listening. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This phrase encapsulates the essence of deep listening. It is about embracing the power of silence, allowing others to express themselves, and in doing so, gaining perspectives and ideas that would otherwise be lost. So, let us learn from these silent listeners, because in their quietness lies a wisdom that speaks for itself. 10. Silence in chosen solitude. The fear of silence, rooted in the avoidance of solitude and dependence on external validation, leads to a constant search for attention that undermines our inner strength. However, by embracing solitude, we discover a transformative gift, the ability to face ourselves authentically. Stoicism teaches us to see solitude as a mirror reflecting our true essence, freeing us from external influence. Imagine a teenager in school surrounded by peers constantly seeking their acceptance. Following Stoic principles, they decide to detach from others' opinions and reflect on their own worth. In the calm, they evaluate their progress without comparing themselves to others. At that moment, they decide that their security comes from their own assessment, not from others' approval. This example shows how Stoicism helps us use silence when we need it most. Philosophy, as taught by the wise philosopher Seneca, urges us to find happiness in the present, freeing ourselves from anxiety about the future. The student, by embracing solitude, exemplifies this wisdom. Their ability to be present in silence, without longing for external validation, demonstrates an inner strength rooted in self-confidence. Silence, in this context, allows us to confront our true essence without masks or adornments. It frees us from the weight of external approval, granting us the ability to find strength and happiness within ourselves, regardless of circumstances. So, like the student, you can navigate life with composure, trusting in your preparation and your infinite internal potential. Remember that your success is not measured by others' approval or external appearances, but by your determination and ability to persevere. Trust in yourself and your abilities, and do not hesitate to pursue your dreams with passion and self-confidence. I invite you to embrace the power of silence in your own life, making each moment of pause an opportunity to deepen your internal knowledge. Remember, silence is not empty. It is potential. It is where ideas are born and the deepest connections flourish. Dive into it as an ally in your quest for authenticity and fulfillment. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "Silence is my ally." That way, I'll know who the soul warriors are who reached the end. Don't forget to subscribe, activate notifications, and like the video so you don't miss what's coming next. Also, I invite you to explore our playlist that you'll find on the screen. It's full of ideas, stories, and advice designed to help you face life with greater wisdom and confidence. Click, and let's keep moving forward together. Until the next talk, take care and keep embracing your inner self.